So, sir, let's get a sense first of how the operating environment affected your business.
It did. Like I thought it would. The elections actually impacted, very badly on what we were able to do. As I always said, the cycle of elections, especially in the states, affect the fortunes of our auto-reg flagship activities. And that's what exactly has happened.
All right, then. Kade?
Do you see any competition for the auto-reg flagship?
Oh, there are. Whether you call that competition or not is a different matter entirely. There are pockets of, individual activities in some states. But we cover up to 70%, I believe. And so there are still a few states outside the loop. So they have individual operators in those places. They will eventually be converted.
And do you see the fact that the government is now pushing to try and increase car ownership, like car purchases and various different funding, do you think that will affect the growth in your business?
Ordinarily, it should. We've always seen a growth in number of new vehicle registrations, and the challenge has always been in getting the old motor owners to come back to the system to renew their registration. We always have between 10 and 15% growth nationally across. But Lagos State alone has an increase every year of up to 20% in new car registrations. But then the challenge is, once you register, you need to come back annually. And that is where the state's challenges,
All right, so let's get into the numbers in this half-year period now. We're seeing your earnings, the profit after tax is up about 10%. I'd like you to talk us through what played out there and how the different segments of your business came to together.
The PAT, like you say, is 10% up. But really, the PBT that I really worry a lot about was up 17%. And that has come not because of any huge growth in revenue, but because of better management of our expenses. We now have, as we speak, zero borrowing, so interest expense practically totally removed. And then we've been a bit more careful in terms of what we've been putting money into. We've reduced our forays into the West African or African markets, as it were. And all these misadventures of trying to spread very quickly through the region, we've kind of slowed down. And that, in addition to the fact that
I just need to ask you. All right, sir. So still on that, though, on your expansion plans, I'd like you to even clarify more. You say you're kind of putting a damper on that for now, and you don't want to expand too fast.
In Africa.
In Africa.
And West Africa, but generally in Africa, yeah. It's been quite expensive, not very fruitful, and that's just because we are seen largely as a Nigerian company. Nobody else, no matter what we have done, whatever model we have tried to employ, it's been this Nigerian company has come around to try and take.
But then it begs a bigger question, because then we're seeing that we just recently signed to the AFCFTA, and Nigeria is, and for businesses like yours who that opportunity for expanding to other countries, you think that it's still going to be more nationalistic views of how companies are in there, even regardless of the fact that we're signing onto this treaty?
We're even talking about companies. I'm talking about nations. I'm talking about nations that actually, have undocumented policies of working against the interest of the Nigerian, business interests. And yeah, it's good that they have signed, but they have not really taken into account businesses, enterprises like us who have struggled, not just within the country, Nigeria here, because we're Nigerian companies, but outside there. So we get to suffer Nigerianness inside and outside. So we'll see how it plays out.
Kai, do you have a comment here?
Yes, I was interested in when you said you have no external borrowings. Is that a conscious decision because borrowing is too expensive or because you're reducing your expansion?
No, it's just because we have always been a relatively cash-rich operations. And then our last borrowing was one that we needed for expansion. And we got through with that a few years back. So we paid it out over the course of maybe the last 6-9 months or so. So it's zero for now. We really don't have any need for any capital, infusion at this time.
Okay, now let's look at your solutions portfolio, and get to understand where you are seeing the largest growth especially in this reporting period.
Well, it's still going to be around the government-related business solutions provision. The auto ref is still the flagship, but we are now working at the national level with FRS somewhat, and we still continue to grow our business in the area of the NAFDAC, the NAPAMS service that we provide for NAFDAC. And then the Nigeria Insurance Association as well is also one that we've sustained, and we are actually planning to grow. These are places where we have worked very hard over the past 10 years or more, and they keep expanding. And it's been a while that we've been looking for an alternative to that flagship, service that would actually operate at the same level. But in the Nigerian economy, it's been tough. It doesn't matter how much R&D you invest in. The moment you go in there, there are always the charlatans that are coming with substandard services, cheaper, services, and you get to compete where you have invested and nobody has, and then you have to share whatever the market has with those that haven't done any work in the past. We have a patent on everything that we've done, because we are usually proud to say that they are the first of their types anywhere in the world. But it hasn't been a very strong, asset as it were in Nigeria, right? But we are proud that our foray into the Caribbean has started yielding a lot of fruit. We're hoping that we're able to grow from there. If we are not succeeding so well in Africa, maybe that would, provide a kind of market that will help us expand beyond the limits of what Nigeria can provide.
So you're seeing more in the Caribbean than more reception in the Caribbean than we're getting from West Africa?
Definitely.
Kyrie, do you have a question or comment? All right, but let me still look at, because I understand that data capture is still one of your important part of your business, and then looking at the opportunities therein, especially for the country and this period in the history of Nigeria, where data capture is needed in many areas and facets in there. I'd like to understand the opportunities you see for growth in that regards, and even partnerships.
Okay, so I think Courteville probably has the most robust database of any type in Nigeria as we speak, if not in West Africa as it were. Between the NAFDAC, the NIA, the motor vehicle, and the ownership details of the vehicle registrations, and then our, small e-commerce sites and other activities, we have a very big, data source for so many, reasons for others coming from outside, from within, to do stuff with. And I won't tell you that we have not been, working it. The truth is that it hasn't been a very big part of the revenue. Of course, data mining is there. Most of the time, the states insist that the data you generate on their behalf belongs to them. So you're not allowed to just, use it for any reason. And as much as we can, we continue to grow what we call our own big data system. And hopefully, within the next 1 or 2 years, we will come to a point where, as we already have the government coming to us for every data they need regarding motor vehicle or their owners, the rest of the country will know what we have, both within and outside. Advertisers, users of R&D data and all that, they will come to us, and they've been doing that, but not as much as to reflect effectively on our top lines.